Good morning, everybody. I think we fixed the situation for now. Good morning to Uncle Andy. Good morning to Winter, the people that find us, the whole society. hmm So I want to talk about a new legislation that was presented. This we have to know this, right? Uh, it's all good. We play around a little bit, have fun, and I want us to have fun. But then there's a time and there's a place for everything, and there's some things we got to take serious. My people perish for lack of knowledge. If you don't have the knowledge, if you don't even know what's going on, this is an issue. This is an issue. So because I can't waste time because I got things to do, I'm just gonna go ahead and start the show. So U.S. Israel Defense Technology Corporation Initiative, an analysis of the proposed fiscal year 2027 National Defense Authorization Act provision seeking to accelerate the U.S. Israel Defense Technology Partnership and why its institutional structure raises serious concerns about oversight, procurement bias, and strategic entanglement. I don't know if this is a ploy, and I hope my audio is good. You know what? I'm just gonna go ahead and turn this up, even if it's not good. I'm gonna turn this bad boy up a little bit more. I don't know why. There we go. There we go. This is Mike. So let's push that up to like 5. There we go. Close that back. All right, we're good. I think I'll be satisfied with that. I hate when I go back to listen to it and there's all type of issues going on. Good morning to everyone. Again, I think that please use key frame frequency of 4 seconds. I don't know what this is about. I'm going to continue on with the live. Right now, now they're letting people in. We got 2 people here. I don't know if they was messing with Uncle Andy's here. Uncle Andy's in the building. All right. So, like I was saying, I'm not really sure if Donald Trump is doing all of this so that he can regain the trust from the American people. What I do know is mm, it's like a movie that I watch. Watching reality right now is like it's like watching a movie, a Terminator movie, or some one of those future movies, those post-apocalyptic movies. Not really post yet, but what pre-apocalyptic, right before, and it's so crazy to watch us destroy ourselves, right? What would appear to be ourselves. Endless war. And it's like, yo, you on this planet too. You know this is gonna affect you, right? That's what you're thinking. So, as we have noticed, for a few months now, Donald Trump has been trying to passively back out of this war that he entered into illegally without the authorization of Congress. No one voted on this, and there's definitely loopholes that these people use to get around situations, authorization, and where they, a situation like this that would normally go through Congress to go to war, they have situations around that, right? Which is, in my theory, one of the reasons that he fired all the generals and the the lawyers, the criminal justice lawyers. And he just got new people that would be yes men, right? Somebody's going to take the money, so it doesn't really matter. We could sit there and we could blame the new people that came in, but at the end of the day, somebody's going to take the money. So it is what it is. Now, as far as his shenanigans, with what we're seeing with the back and forth with Israel, we don't know if it's real yet. And the reason we don't know if it's real because until he says, you know what, because this is very simple. For me, you, normal people of every race and color, I'm talking about just, we're not that different. You understand? Most of us, whether you're a white father or a black father, white mother, black, white mother, or black mother, Spanish mother, we all have some things in common. And one of the things that we have in common is when we get fed up, we just gonna, even if we don't beat you. And that's the other thing. A lot of us, no matter what color we was, when we was brought up, we got spanked. Well, they're not doing that no more. I watch us. We know how to parent. You understand? We'll just take away what you love. That's just universal. Take away what you love. You want to act like a moron? Okay. Well, we're taking away this. You're not going to get the car. You're not going to get the PS5. You understand? You're not going to give me your phone. I don't know why my daughter plays these games with my wife. It's ridiculous. And then my wife sits there. I think she's addicted to yelling. Your blood pressure's already up. What are you doing? Yelling back and forth. Let me show you how simple it is. Give me the remote control to the PS5 and give me the telephone too. I bet you that room get clean. I bet you that room get clean. Give me the tablet. Because I don't know what other type of contraptions you get in here. Give me the Bluetooth. Give me everything, Inspector Gadget. I don't know what you got going on in here, but give me everything until you clean the bathroom and clean the room. And we're doing the, I say that to say this. It's very simple. So I don't want us to get fooled again. It's very simple, Donald Trump. So you can say that, hey, you can send your staff to say, yo, Trump cursed him out. We don't want to hear that. We're not 5 years old. We don't want to hear that. What we want to hear is we're pulling the funding. Yes, you have already acknowledged what we've been acknowledged. We've been saying, if it wasn't for America, Israel, you would not even have gotten this far. We knew you're not saying nothing slick to us. Jack, hit the like button on the way in. You're not saying nothing slick to us. We've been telling you that, and then they've been saying we are anti-Semites for saying this. So, none of us are falling for the banana in the tailpipe right now with the theatrics, because that's what they are. They're theatrics. They're still bombing Lebanon. So I don't even know what this rules was about. This had to be about midterm elections. Because it's a rules. Why would you fall for so many things so many times? And yes, I understand that your daughter got married into Judaism. She got married to a Zionist Jew. Oy vey! Out of all the Jews in the world, you go and marry a Zionist Jew. Good for you. Good for you, darling. How does that feel? Right? So now the pressure's on him. And he's like, oh, my boys. First of all, I don't feel sorry for your boys. Your youngest made, last year, your youngest made $350 million in 1 hour due to some shenanigans that you and him were doing on the internet with Twitter, saying information about this company, this is gonna, and the next thing you know, he makes $350 million in an hour. So allegedly, the Trump boys are supposed to have some type of tech company that relies on Israel. Can you imagine all these citizens of the United States and a single family would get this far and say, nah, let's. It's like watching Beast Games when it comes to the point where it's like, hey, do you want to take the million for yourself and eliminate your team? But it's not a small team. It's an entire nation. And it's like, what are you going to do, Trump? Are you going to take the money that you don't really need because you're already rich? What do your sons need with money that bad that they would sacrifice an entire nation for another nation the size of New Jersey? None of this makes sense. I will explain most of this to you tomorrow because I don't have the time today. But today I will explain something very important. It is imperative that you do not change YouTube channels right now. You could watch silly business for the rest of the day. I promise you, I have to shut down by 9:50. So I will not be here longer than 10 o'clock. I promise you this. I have to go. Just stay here and listen to what I have to say. This is imperative. There has been a proposal, a legislative proposal for the year 2027, a National Defense Authorization Act. I have gone through this. I heard grumblings here and there about this proposal. I said, it's not that important. But the thing is, it is gaining momentum, meaning it's going through some committees and it have already passed some sub-level committees to say, hey, yeah, let's take this to the next level. For one, I want the names, and I have the names, by the way, of the politicians who submitted this, because in my opinion, this is nothing more than treasonous to even propose such preposterous nonsense. Hold on. Hit the like button. Hold on. Make sure that everything is showing. We're good? Okay, we're good. I'm sorry. All right, let's go over here. I'm going to read it for you guys. You can ride in the car, do whatever you're doing, riding on the train, eating your baguette. I'll just listen. The United States / Israel Defense Technology Corporation Initiative in the House draft fiscal year 2027 NDAA, National Defense Authorization Act, seeks to accelerate the United States-Israel Defense Technology Partnership, including technology sharing, co-production of weapon systems, and bilateral research and development across multiple domains of warfare. Let's just stop right there. I was a teacher for 20 years, so I know when the brain starts to slow down and you're like, oh, I can't listen to this right now. Just shut up. You can listen to this right now. I got you. I'm going to walk you through this. I wanted to stop right there because we're talking about a partnership. Let me ask you, America, how are we doing so far as partners? It's rhetorical. You should. I know the answer. I want you. Huh? I know my answer. What's your answer? How do you think we're doing as partners, partnering up with Israel right now? Do you think we're doing a bang 'em up job? Does this look like a synergy? Huh? Does this look like Jordan and Pippen? Like, yo, how'd you even know he was there when you made that pass? Yo, it's like you just feel your partner. You just know the moves we're gonna make. Does it look like that? Actually, it looks like things are falling apart. Trump is all over the world, all type of summits. Basically exposing his, being very transparent about his frustration. I like the language, but I'm too intelligent to let down all my guards because of he's saying what I want to hear. You said what I wanted to hear the first time and then you immediately flipped out. How do I know this is not another ruse that you guys have planned out, right? Yeah, I know the Adelson family is coming at you and you listen, no more war. They say, yo, we're not listening to you. So before we even go any further with the reading of this bill, and the fact that we're using words like sharing and co-production of weapon systems, right? Do you marry someone that showed you signs they cannot stop cheating? If you do, you're an idiot because I don't want to see your crocodile tears later on because you know this person couldn't keep it in their pants before you even got married. You knew they were beating the crap out of you before you got married. What did you think was going to happen? No, he said he was going to change. Did he now? Tell me more about what he said. Please go on. So we're supposed to be sharing co-production of weapon systems, are we? But this is going to be legally binding? Huh? It's a no for me. The provision would direct the Secretary of Defense to designate an executive agent. This word right here is the most dangerous word in this entire proposal. EA, executive agent. So when I say EA from here on out, and I'll get to your comments in a second, ladies and gentlemen, the donation button is right there. It's pinned to the link. You don't have to give anything. As you can see, I'm at work. Huh? I'm not on the welfare. You want to give something, you give it. You don't, you don't. You just listen to my orange, my rhetoric. The provision would direct the Secretary of Defense to designate an executive agent to expand integration of the U.S. and Israeli defense industrial sectors. This EA, executive agent, authority makes the provision significantly different from existing defense tech cooperation agreements with other allied nations. So this proposal is something that is precedent we've never seen before. It is giving the ultimate authority to the title of EA. However, I'm going to tell you my big problem with this EA in a second. Let me read whatever's in the blue box, read the yellow box, read the comments, and then I will tell you what my biggest problem is with the executive agent. Procurement bias. The EA structure introduces institutional bias into defense procurement processes, favoring U.S.-Israel integration. Strategic lock-in. The measure risk tethering the U.S. military to the Israeli counterpart technologically, making it difficult to uproot should conditions change. So they have wording in there that doesn't allow the U.S. to say, you know what, it's not really a good partnership right now. I think I'm just going to go. It's not going to work like that. It's like once you sign up for a CD and you're like, yo, it's an emergency. My man got a plug on some, huh? On some platinum. Your man? Who's your man? And what is platinum, sir? Listen, this is a high grade weed. I gotta get it right now. He has it for. Sir, if you break this CD, we're gonna tax this shit out of you. How about that? How about you go figure out another way to get rich and stop hanging out with Craig? I told you, Craig is bad for you. You and him with these get rich quick schemes. And now you want to break the CD after I told you it's a minimum of 6 months. Reduced oversight. The initiative may make U.S. military aid to Israel more opaque. Whew. I'll read that again. The initiative may make U.S. military aid to Israel more opaque by transforming assistance into cooperation, sheltering it from regular congressional votes. No, this is absolutely stupid that not only did it get proposed, but 44 people already voted for this. Are one of your representatives one of the 44 people? We'll get to it. Under DOD Directive 5101, the EA's authority takes precedence over the DOD components heads, including the Defense Technology Security Administration, which manages risk from international transfer of defense technology. Let me read some of these comments, and then I'm going to just spell it out plain before we continue on. Shout out to everybody in the building. There's some talk about King of the Jews in here. This person says, moving on, changing channels. That's your best bet. Adam says, these clowns want our firstborn in taxes, it seems. Sounds about right, Adam. Libre says, psst, while we're distracted by the World Cup, these sociopathic Zionist Jews like Larry Fink of BlackRock, Palantir, JP Morgan are sabotaging countries holding elections. Absolutely correct. I was worried at first because this is why I like to read the comments, because you had the first person that says moving on, changing channels, because you want to hear bullshit. By the way, I'm not mad that you're changing channels. You know what I am pissed off about? I'm talking about a topic that, if passed, would affect us so drastically, and you dismiss this from what I'm reading, and you say moving on, changing channels, right? You're gonna be, if you live here in the United States, you would be affected. So what are you moving on to listen to? That's what I'm really curious. What the hell are you moving on to listen to? And I don't want God to forgive me when I say this, that I hope you don't die fast when the time comes. I hope you die slow, so that you could remember there were people that were saying this is going to happen, and now it's happening. Because it is jackasses like you who would rather prefer to watch dog shows, cat videos, than have a serious conversation for no more than an hour and a half in the morning. You have all day and night to dick off, watch all type of stupid shows, and I asked to have one serious conversation. It's like, moving on. Really? Okay. All right. Alfred says, why aren't people talking about Obama starting propaganda? Let me just stop. Let me take your comment serious. And now answer it. Why aren't people talking about Obama starting propaganda by stopping Smith-Mundt Act of 1948? I don't know. I'll look into it. I'll look. I'll look into it. We're being aggressively attacked politically and through propaganda by Israel right now. It's definitely not about hating anyone Jewish. That has nothing to do with anything at this point. It's all about America is no longer America to Americans, especially the people that have generations here. And again, I'm going to show you why tomorrow. Tomorrow morning, I'll have the time to do a 4-hour live because that's what it's going to take. 4, 5, 6 hours. It will take that long because I want to show you how the banks. First of all, none of this just happened. Most of this is the result of 1944. Most of this is the result of actually white Anglo-Saxon politicians, lawyers, government officials who started these treasonous acts against America for their own personal gain. This is true. We already know Alan Dulles was a spy. But there's a difference between being a spy and you taking a little bit for yourself here and there and someone who is actively trying to overthrow the president, actively trying to set out assassinations on their own president, allegedly. I have no proof of that part. What I do have proof of is Alan Dulles was fired by JFK, and somehow after the assassination, he was in charge of the investigation to look into who assassinated him. Jackass shit. What are you talking about? This man was fired. How did he become the point of contact and the head of the investigation? Ridiculousness. Now, let me get into this executive agent situation. Let me tell you exactly what's going to happen, because it's happening right now. What they're saying is, if this bill passes, whoever has the title, and it is going to be a person, I looked that up, so it's not, I don't want you to be confused when you see the word agent, because that word is flying around right now with people who are building AIs. So if you're building AIs from scratch, then what you're building is agents, and that you can sell to other companies, and this is a good time to get rich or make a little money, right? Remember when COVID was here and then the black people found out about LLCs, and then every black person was on YouTube talking about, yo, you got to get your LLC. As if there was something the rest of the world didn't know. Yeah, let me show you how to get your LLC. What? What are you talking about? What do you? One guy told me, yo, I got my LLC, man. I need some help. Okay, what do you fucking do? No, I got my LLC. Listen, bro. Why do you have your LLC? You're so you don't even know why you have one. You have to do work. You have to provide a service. You jackass. This is elementary shit. What are you talking about? You have an LLC. What do you do? You out here trying to scam the government for funds? And it's sad that someone, like, people don't even know where to start with you if you don't even have a business. You don't have any idea what your company does, but you're telling people you have an LLC. No one wants to even, that's like embarrassing. Black people, you're still running around listening to goddamn rap music. Knock it off. Knock it off. You're still, what are you doing? This is the perfect time to get into something else, man. Never mind the ghetto shit. Get into building AIs. Find one company that'll buy. Just go in there. Hey, how can I make your life easier? Go into I'm going to tell you where to go in case you don't know. Next time you go to the doctor, ask, hey, you guys utilizing this? Private doctor. If you're going to some type of franchise, it's not going to work. They're never going to give you their business. It has to go all the way up to headquarters. Knock it off. If it's a private firm, law firm, doctor, chiropractor, they're all around. Just ask them, how would, if I could automate some things for your business, would it help? They're going to say yes. Have that conversation. Like, how would the workflow go? And then, I'm going to tell you exactly what to do. You go home, you open up a software called FlowWise. FlowWise, one word. Not two words, one word. FlowWise. And then you open up YouTube, and then you look up FlowWise tutorial, and then you get busy, stupid. Never mind your stupid ass poetry album. Nobody cares. Nobody's buying albums right now. If you haven't noticed, jackass. Now, let's get back to this. Pissed me off with your stupid ass mixtape. Nobody cares, bro. I don't care about the words that's coming out of your mouth. Anyway, what you're going to learn over there after you take my advice is that these things are called agents that you're building. So, initially, I thought when I seen executive agent, I'm like, yo, is this going to be like an AI thing? Which later on, who knows if they say it's going to start with a human being, but then they're going to pass it off to an actual artificial intelligent agent. We don't know yet. But for right now, the proposal, when they say executive agent, they're actually talking about a human being. Fine. My problem is that I already know what's going to happen. This is supposed to be a partnership, but I know how Israel gets down. What they're going to do is they're going to finagle their way somehow to get the person they want to be the executive agent. Whoever becomes the executive agent will be an actual agent for Israel. That's what's going to happen. That's what's going to happen. Because there's no way in the world Israel's just going to trust us because they want to do things a little bit more radical. It seems like a race for time. It's like, no, not only a race for time, what I keep hearing is the moment that there is actual peace, Netanyahu's going to jail. I don't believe that. Who's supposed to bring him to jail? The United Nations Army? Who's bringing him to jail? Knock it off. He's not going to fucking jail. Like, this is just conversation. No, he has to keep war because if he stops, he's going to jail. I like to see it. It's never going to happen. They're not listening because there's no consequences. That's why he's not listening. He's not listening because, oh, if he stops, well, he's going to jail. He's going to go to jail. He doesn't care. You think he really thinks he's going to jail? You can believe that. You can keep saying that. Oh, he's going to go to jail. No, he's not. When has the United Nations ever stepped in and was like, yo, there's genocide going over here. We got to send our troops to stop this shit? Never. So knock it off. Knock it off. This is all theater and formalities. The U.S. can already access Israeli military technology. Proponents argue the provision will save American lives. Let's just stop right there. Since Trump was influenced into getting into this war with Iran because allegedly he was told that it would be just as simple as going into Venezuela. Venezuela was ridiculously easy to, like, that was cartoonish easy. That was buffoonery. They literally shut the lights out, ran into the country, grabbed the president and his wife, and escaped. 6 guys. What? They didn't deserve that oil. I would have took the oil. You don't deserve it. I have to take it. You know why I have to take it? Because if I don't take it, somebody else is going to take it before me, and now I'm going to be upset that I didn't take it first. And that's how, I'm going to be honest with you, that's how I would have been looking at it. You don't deserve this. You can't even protect your president. Fuck you going to do with this amount of oil? Nah, give me that, bro. Give me that. I'm taking that. I'm the captain now. You guys are idiots. Not only did you mess up your currency, now you're down there with all this oil, and I could just walk into your country and flip one light and all the lights go out? Snatch up your president and his dame? Nope. Anyway, since the partnership of America, Trump sitting there listening to Netanyahu, yeah, this is easy. We go in, bada bing, bada boom, we're out of there. Okay, I'm down. I'm convinced, really. Well, we've lost 13 soldiers. Israel's lost none. Well, I don't know about millions. Millions is cap. Many people have died. Many civilians and innocents have died. I don't like doing business like this. I don't like this. I don't like this. I don't believe in your God, but I have some type of morality. I have morality. And bombing a building full of school kids, it's not my cup of tea. I told you, man, no women, no kids. Even Scarface had that type of moral compass. What are you doing? So, when you start off with the proponents argue the provisions will save American lives, I'm going to tell you right now, this is a Israeli biased proposal. And this is not going to save American lives. And I think right now, Americans, the last thing we're expecting is advice from Israel or any of Israel's companies or politicians. We don't want, we're good. We just need a little bit of breathing room from Israel right now. Most of us feel like this. If you guys could back off, you're coming on hot and heavy. Hot and heavy. When you guys took my Uber away or convinced Uber to drop me, when I was in transition between trucking companies, it did hurt because it was like Uber was a decent income because of the way I set my Uber up. I didn't play any games. I was out there 3 in the morning getting the airport calls. I was done by one in the afternoon. The background company was an AI company that barely had any human activity. There was no 1-800 number. You can email, they would get back to you within 3 days. But for the most part, you was talking to an artificial intelligence. If that is how the world is supposed to run, let me tell you what would happen before that. I would somehow talk to a human being, like at the Green Dot. Uber would have all these places where you could talk to an actual human being, and you can express what happened. Like, why is the situation like this? They would go over your case and they would tell you, "Nah, we're good," or they would say, "Hey, I see exactly what's going on here. Um, this let me override the system because the system's not understanding because code is very black or white. They don't understand. There's no gray area, and if someone doesn't take the time to code in a humanistic gray area, that software just seems like Hitler to us." So nonetheless, I got kicked off not only Uber, but I wasn't even allowed to go on other gig apps because the same background company was used for everybody, and it was an Israeli company who didn't have any human beings basically working for the company because obviously you want more money, you want to earn more money, right, than you're letting out on staff and all this other stuff. I get it, but horrible. And it is affecting people. Proponents argue that the provision will save American lives and benefit the U.S. military by giving access to Israeli defense technology. Israel's defense technology does have demonstrable military value, but the question is whether the institutional mechanism the cooperation initiative would create is necessary to access that value. The answer is no. The United States has procured Israel technology under existing law for decades. The Iron Dome, the Trophy Active Protection System for Abrams tank, and Barak missile systems were all acquired under existing statutory authority. The Iron Dome got rocked. That shit got manhandled. What are you talking about? The Iron Dome, they put that Iron Dome to the test, Israel. That shit got rocked. And can I say something without sounding anti-Semitic? This is nothing against the Jews. I was so satisfied when ah, that shit brought me joy. I'm not sure if it was supposed to bring me joy or not. I was so fucking satisfied that those missiles were getting through and rocking your goddamn world. And I'm probably not supposed to say that out loud. And again, it's nothing against the Jews there. It's just that I want Israel wiped off the fucking face of the earth. I do! I'm probably not supposed to say that. I want the land given back to Palestine, and I want you guys to go back to the Roman fucking gypsies that you are. Ah! I'm not supposed to say this. Oy vey. Let me get control of myself. I don't like you people. I don't like you a lot. You know why? You're bad fucking people. Horrible. Horrible. I don't know why you can't see that, but then again, maybe you can and you just don't care. So why would I care? Cooperative R&D, research and development, authorized under 22 USC, extending cooperative project agreement authority to friendly non-NATO countries. Missile defense development programs, including Arrow and David Sling, are funded through annual NDAA appropriations and foreign military financing. There's a lot going on. Oh, it's frustrating. Let me just say this. To see the amount of money that is spent on defense, and I know we need to defend the United States, but also there's no rationality, in my opinion, or not enough rationality, where the things that need to be prioritized, the people of this nation here, true America, not just rhetoric like "Yo, America first." They've been saying America first since the 1940s, and it's never America first. Because the classes don't really look at the higher classes don't look at the lower classes like they are human beings. So the same way you have this group of people who look at everyone else as the goyim. I don't know why we're shocked. You had a American upper class people looking at people that were middle class and lower class like, they're just cannon fodder, which is no different than these other people saying they're the goyim, they're the cattle for our use. This is why they want everyone else to do the war. They want your soldiers to go to your children. You go to war. We'll sit back and we'll do jack shit until the audacity. And I'm talking about the audacity. A country that without Britain's help, without America's help, you wouldn't even have gotten a little piece of land that you were never supposed to get. But you got it. You swindled because of geopolitical reasons. You know, Britain and America said, oh, maybe we can use this to our advantage to invade the Middle East, which they did, you know. So a lot of this money, all of these projects, David Sling, Arrow and David Sling, funded by American money. It's past disappointing. Joint ventures in co-production. Joint ventures licensing co-production with Israel industry are permissible under existing FM's and DCS's authorities. The Arms Export Control Act. I'll look into that. So what this slide is basically saying is we already do a lot of the things that the 2027 NDAA Act is proposing. We already do this. We already do research and development together. We already do joint training, information sharing, biotech and AI cooperation, and technology integration. We already do these things. Why do we need to make it into any type of law? What the cooperation initiative really does is establish an executive agent. That's what they want to get at. They want to get to the point where, and that's too much power for Israel or any other country to have. But if you ask me, it's only logical for Israel to keep pushing the envelope, because they got away with what? They got away with being able to set up a lobby machine where they actively pay United States senators and congressmen out in the open. They actively do this to persuade them and influence them. They actively do this. So if they got away with that, I mean, why wouldn't they just sit back and say, yo, let's see what else we could get away with? Because they seem pretty docile to me. Are these real people? These aren't mannequins? They're fucking idiots. You know something? They're right to think of you as the fucking Goyim. I mean, they think of me as the Goyim too. What we have to do is shut down these stupid ass senators and these Congress people that we're sending to Washington on our behalf. We have to X them out. They're too comfortable. Stop the rhetoric about Donald Trump, Biden, the president, and start to put the flashlight on these people who are writing the laws, proposing the laws. Give me 1 second. I really want to get to the point where did I put all the people down here on the slide? I want to see if I got to the 44 people. I didn't, right? Okay. Let me say this part, and then maybe I can find the 44 people for you. Legislative journey, early votes, and next steps. The initiative has progressed through preliminary committee votes wrapped within the broader National Defense Authorization Act. House Committee challenge. Vote failed on June 4th, 2026. An amendment to strip the provision from the defense budget introduced by Reps. Khanna and Massey was defeated in the House Armed Services Committee voice vote. So, you know, they're celebrating because they recently defeated Massey, and he was standing up, which there's not a lot of senators that's standing up, that's not taking the fucking Israeli treasonous fund, right? We're gonna give you some money if you could just vote for us. That Israel's not the people to play with when it comes to owing a favor to. They're not. It's not going to be a small favor. It's going to be something that's going to want to make you throw up and avoid all the mirrors in your house when it's time to pay. And Marjorie, she just gave up, God bless her soul. But, you know, what, I don't expect too much out of her. That's not a slight. What I'm saying is she's a female with children, and they were threatening her children. Death threats to her children. She tells the president, Trump, his jackass says you deserve it. These treasonous. He's not a fucking man. All that bullying he used to do and all these fucking antics where he grabs somebody's hand and shake it tight, only for you to be a bitch in the end. You're a bitch. They got something on you, man. They got something on you. And Dan Bongino, I can never look at you as the same. I can never look at you as the same. I didn't even know why you resigned. You're still fucking doing gigs and you're still traveling around with this guy. So whatever your reason was for resigning was personal so that you didn't end up in some type of scandal. Not because your principles didn't align with whatever you learned. I thought you had seen something that you couldn't unsee and you were like, you know what? I don't want any parts of this. I'm out of here. No, you still fucking, he still rents you out as a rent-a-cop on the weekends and you're flying around dicking off with the president. So you could have stayed right where you were at, man. You know that Cash Patel allegedly has been reported to have an alcohol problem. He could have used you there. We could have used you. We need a few good men. But none of you guys are fucking good men. Jerk-offs, the whole lot of you. Hegseth, what the fuck does he know? Jerk-offs, the whole lot of you. So, Massey, you tried, bro. That's all I could say. You definitely tried. So, again, what Massey was proposing is, hey, we take this whole provision, which is logical. God damn it. This should be separate. Why do you keep stuffing things inside of bills where it doesn't even belong? How many times have you went through the infrastructure bill and seen all type of stuff that should have really been in a whole separate defense bill? Now we have a defense bill, but I don't know. It seems like this should be separated. But I understand the logic in stuffing it in bills that really where it doesn't belong. Because when you look at the entire bill, you say, oh, the rest of the bill is great. Anyway, that failed. Massey asking for this to be stripped from the defense budget failed. What did pass? June 5th. The following day, June 5th, 2026, the full House Armed Services Committee voted 44 to 12 to advance the entire defense budget bill to the House floor with the U.S.-Israel tech integration language intact. And that's what I'm talking about. Who the fuck were these 44? Is it one of your representatives? That's what you need to find out. Yaakov is over here spreading propaganda. Let me entertain Yaakov because I gotta go. Yaakov says the Jews have way more historical ties to that land than any group Arabs will ever have. So cope harder. I don't have to cope. You cope with this. There's two types of Jews. You know this. You won't even argue with me. There's two definitions anyway. There's Ashkenazi and there's Sephardic. You won't even argue with me. Let me tell you something, Yaakov. Yiddish is German. Yaakov. And Jew comes from the term Judea, the people from Judea, from the tribe of Judah. Let me tell you something, Yaakov. These Ashkenazi Jews have no biological connection to that land. No genetic connection to the people there. Now, you can say that's a lie, but I already have the proof. I've shown it several times of Israeli scientists. This is before it was illegal to say so. Yeah, so I still have the information. I still have the snapshots. They've already proven, hey, it kind of proves that we're not related to them. Oh, you're not telling us anything that we don't know. We know that you're not fucking related to the original people of Judea. We know that. And identity theft is a crime. I just want to tell you that, Yaakov. Identity theft is a crime. So, Yaakov, if you are Ashkenazi Jew, there's a 90% chance you derived from the bloodline of Khazarians from the Caucasus Mountains, Yaakov. Identity theft is a crime. That's my show for today. You know what? If you check me out tomorrow, I'll get the 44 names. I have the 44 names of the politicians who agreed to move and advance this proposal forward, including the U.S.-Israel tech integration. That is obviously treasonous and that we cannot trust. You cannot trust an executive agent that can override all the generals, override everyone. No one. It is in the literature that no one can tell this executive agent what to do. I don't even think the president could tell him. You don't need anything like that. Because I guarantee you, they will somehow use money, persuasion, whatever they do, they're going to use it to get their person of choice in that position. And as we can see, these are not stable people. These are not the type of people. These are not the type of people you want on earth. If we're being honest. Tomorrow we're going to have a good show. I'll go through everything meticulously. I'll go through the bankers that encourage these wars. Who are these bankers? Who are these lawyers who encourage these wars? Because they create these banks with the purpose of being able to stabilize the country after it's bombed. Right? They want to loan that country some money. So after that country is destroyed, they come in and say, hey, we'll give you some money. And that is why the $300 million was in the MOU to Iran. And then J.D. Vance had to say, yo, this is not taxpayer money. It wasn't taxpayer money. This don't got shit to do with the people paying that money back. This is between banks. They did use your children, though. They did use our army and our resource. They used our money because our money is the one that paid for the weapons in the first place. Much of our weapons come from Britain, by the way. If you want to know where Britain stands in all of this whole shit. A lot of the companies before Israel started getting to the weapons game, Great Britain, they kind of monopolized the weaponry. They had offices over here in the United States, so it makes it look like it's an American company. But true indeed, the headquarters, the founding companies were in Great Britain. So this is like embezzlement, Ponzi scheme. This is a whole lot of things going on where the average Joe, you don't benefit. You are cannon fodder. That's all you are. You're just someone to that they can use for your the energy to create. So they can use the results and the value of that energy of whatever you created so they can have a better lifestyle on this planet. And I would like to remind you this planet has been here for millions of years. So this system that is in place is not a new system. This is the same system they have been using for thousands of years. It has been written about in the Torah. The Torah is plagiarized, by the way. So it was written about even before the Torah, because you have to ask, where was the Torah plagiarized from? So even people older than the the people who are known as the Hebrews, which are basically the exiled Haikos, people who became the Hyberu people and would wander in the fucking desert. You have to understand, the core of these people have been savages from day one. These are people who have been thrown out of over 100 countries. Who the fuck gets thrown out of over 100 countries? They do. And now you know why. 'Unbelievable. Join me tomorrow morning, and I'm gonna go over Alan Dulles. I'm gonna go over Alan Dulles' brother. I'm gonna go over Dylan Reed Company. Right? We're gonna go over Sullivan and Cromwell. These are the fucking people that sold us out, because of their big bright ideas to get rich, and everybody has to pay for it 60 years later. 70 years later, everybody else has to pay for it. The sins of our fathers. Subscribe to the channel. Hit the like button. Zionists, go kill yourselves. Do hit the hype button if you're watching this on the replay. And I have to go now. I have things to do. I got things to do. Oy vey.